I'm not a fan
Okay,
of that.
now we're live.
Not a fan.
All right, can you hear us now? Nobody's in here, but sorry about that, everyone. We went from 18 to 0.
That's okay. Maybe that's a sign from above right now.
Oh well, nobody comes. Nobody comes. All right, one person here.
Hello.
Let's see if I can. Sorry about that, everyone. Can you hear us? Everything better now? You look over here and talk to them and see if there's. Can you see us? Can you hear us?
I wonder what happened.
I don't know.
They say there you are.
There. Yeah. But, okay, they can see us, but can you hear us?
I think so.
Okay, video and sound. Hot diggity dog. So, let's see. Copperhead. Yes.
Okay, we gotta change the public profile picture.
Okay, I'm sorry, we can't change it yet. 5 times. You know,
if it was gonna do it again,
Rua said that at the very beginning when nobody was here at the very beginning, that was gonna be balmy. She said maybe that's a sign from heaven.
It's a sign from heaven.
But you came, so it's a sign that you want us to keep doing this. Take 3. So sorry about that, people. Yeah, the slap thing.
It was good that you didn't have sound anyway, because Maya was upset that I haven't given her baking soda.
So they like playing with baking soda, the kids do, which I don't really understand.
They make, the kids make some kind of weird, it's cool kind of, they do paint and baking
soda.
Stuff. Yeah, they make their own sand stuff, and she was really upset that I wouldn't give her any, so.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the internet.
What was I saying last whenever I said that we moved the goats, and I took the fence down around the dozer pile, and Papa helped a little bit with that. Papa did all the fencing and the Papa did all the fencing in paddock 1 for the goats. So there was one strand up, but they needed to put a lower strand because beforehand when we had the goats in there, it would climb under the bottom strand of barbed wire, which didn't have any hot wire underneath it, and now they can't do that. But I'd like to put that all the way around paddock 1, 2, and 3, so then we can put the pigs in there as well.
Oh wow, Chad, got you back. 50-inch TV.
Wow. My phone. Oh man. Oh. So then you're 2 participants. You're 2 of the 14 people in here.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
We'll take it.
Yeah. So
we need to set up another TV. We'll
set up our TV, and then we could be watching it too. That would pad our numbers a little bit. But anyway, Rua was sick last night. In case you missed anything, she was sick last night. She had a little bit of a fever. And
no, I don't have coronavirus.
Not that we know of. No, that's not the Chad who lives in the Chatty Shack. That's Chad Morgan. He's our friend who was working with a tree company that brought all sorts of wood chips here, and he still does. He got a job promotion, job change. He's working a skid steer now for the same company, but he is working it in Tennessee. He's working in Tennessee instead of Kentucky now. Yeah, but he's a really great guy. He's a good friend. Just made since we've been here. Hadn't really hung out with him a lot, but he's a really great guy. Anyway, what's new for everyone?
Tree guy's Brad.
Tree guy, evening Papa Walker.
Thanks, vintage vibes. Yeah, me too. I'm glad I'm feeling better. That wasn't pleasant.
Yeah. First time on my laptop, I spy my big blue eyes McCormick. What do you see? What's McCormick?
Isn't McCormick like a big bottle? But
there's a bunch of spices up there. Is that what you see,
but David? There's a big bottle that I've been drinking my water out of.
What? Let's see. What do you see as McCormick? I can't. If you can read something that says McCormick on it, I'm pretty impressed. But I guess you can recognize the pattern on the spices. So those little ones up front, I think, are McCormick. Yeah, she was not feeling well yesterday at all. She needed a mental health day from her job, but she also did have a fever and didn't feel very good. Had a headache when she woke up yesterday morning, but she went to work anyway with that, but didn't have a fever. Do they check you when you go into work, see if you have a fever?
I think I'm supposed to check myself, but a lot of times I just forget. Like, you're supposed to check it and write it down, but no comments there.
Okay. So in Pedmo, it's an amazingly awesome Sunday for me. My grandson was taken off with a respirator this morning. He is breathing on his own. Requested continued prayer. What's his name? I'll pray for him by name. I'm glad he's off the respirator. Rua knows a lot about that kind of stuff. So you work with a respirator all the time?
The ventilator, yeah.
Yeah. But my garden is full this year, and my rattlesnake beans are doing good. Veggies not so much. I'm really excited to get planting. Hopefully this week we'll be planting in our high tunnel. I think we've got a few plants that we can plant. We've got some seeds that we might just start right in the high tunnel. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, let's see. I'll review the videos that I did this weekend. If you have any questions about any of those, do y'all remember anything that we talked about in specific or in particular? Let's see. Yeah, Quebec, you were here. Are you still here or here again? Quebec Homestead? You said you wanted to connect Ace Gabriel on the Vapotherm. I'll pray for him. Y'all can pray for him too if you believe in prayer. If you don't, then you can send good vibes. White cucumbers. The cucumbers that I've seen that are white have been on there too long, or they're on the bottom. We've grown lemon cucumbers before. Have you ever grown those? They're like more round. But we grew them in California, but I wasn't super impressed with those.
No, I didn't care for those either.
Yeah. Can I trouble you for a prayer? My nephew has a bad motorcycle accident yesterday. What's his name? I'll write him down so I make sure I don't forget anybody in prayer. Let's see, Ace. You told me a minute ago, Ace Gabriel. Okay, Ace Gabriel. I do this at church too when I'm taking prayer requests. Write it down on my phone. Ace Gabriel and
I'm sorry, Vintage Vibes.
Vintage Vibes, nephew. If you don't give me his name, I'll just pray for him that way. Vintage Vibes, nephew. Anyway, videos this week. Oh, my trees. The one that got, he's Mitchell. Okay, I'll put him down by name. Mitchell. My trees. The big black locust. It's probably one of the top 5 in height as far as black locusts. I pulled it over and all the leaves have wilted off of it since then. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm thinking about, so you can coppice black locust. I'm thinking about just sawing off the top half of it and just coppicing it to see if it'll, if it'll recover better that way. But I'll just leave it for now and see what happens.
Your squash got eaten up by bugs. I think I've getting eaten up by bugs from being outside.
I was out today and I felt some itching on my ankles. I always wear really long socks. You can see. I always wear really long socks with my overalls, sneakers, except for whenever it's wet outside. But I felt an itchiness on my legs, and I pulled my sock off, and I saw these little chiggers on there. So that was unpleasant. And then
taking a closer look at that.
And then I took some apple cider vinegar to wipe it off, and Rua couldn't stand being around me then because I stunk too bad.
It was pretty stinky.
Well, I do wear long socks because I want to try to keep the bugs and stuff off of me, but apparently the chiggers will go right through them, which is pretty awful. I wear a black sock on this foot, and I wear a white sock on this one. I do that because once you wear a sock, sometimes it gets a certain it gets a certain shape to it. So the black one's always left and the white one's always right, so it keeps the shape there. They were some lovely.
What are you supposed to do about? What are you supposed to do about tobacco worms? Daughter State Right says.
So tobacco worms, you just have to look for them and pull them off. That's all you really have to do. Some people, I think, spray their tomatoes with like Dawn dish soap, and it's supposed to keep them off. Really? But apparently, too, you can. I've heard anyway. I've not ever tried it. You can use a black light at night. If you have a battery-operated black light, you can take it out there at night, and they'll glow, so you can see them a whole lot easier. You can try that. Funky odor. No,
not this time.
Not this time. It's a hornworm. They're those green worms. Let's see if I can find a picture of it.
I didn't know what they were until a few years ago.
I started doing a video on. I had some of my potato plants earlier this year rather. Yeah, there's a picture of it. Can you? I know it's kind of bright. Can you see that green there?
It looks bright.
You see that green there? How they look? It's kind of hard to see there.
Pure neem oil. I don't think I know what that is. I've got to Google neem oil in a minute.
Yeah. Go for it, black locust trees. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do with the black locust trees. I've actually never used neem oil. I've heard it, used a lot for fungus. I didn't know you used it for. I didn't know you used it for hornworms. But what happens too is wasps like to lay eggs on them. So if you see one with a bunch of white things on the back, like little pieces of rice on its back, wasps have laid eggs inside of it. And the wasps are going to eat them from the inside out. So don't kill those. If you see one with a bunch of the white things on there, if you see one with the white things on there, then leave those. But all the ones that don't have white things, just take those, feed them to the chickens. Sometimes the chickens won't eat them. Anyway, feed those to the chickens or just smash them. I have to walk all the way up to Nana and Papa's to feed them to chickens because we don't keep any.
I know, I miss the birds.
We don't keep any up here. I wonder if the pigs would eat them. I don't know. Pumbaa did in Lion King. He liked bugs. He was a warthog.
He was a warthog?
When I was a young warthog. When he was a young warthog. I found my aroma like a certain appeal. I could clear the savannah after every meal.
Oh, if there are two or more, there are probably more. What else can you use neem oil? I mean, do you use neem oil for just plants?
I don't know.
I'm gonna Google.
I've heard about neem oil a lot, but I've actually never used neem oil. It sounds a lot like the person. It sounds a lot like the person who played Spock in the original Star Trek. Remember his name? What was his name? You know? It was Leroy.
I have no idea.
It was Lee. Was it Leroy?
I don't know. You're asking the question.
Yeah, Nimoy.
Okay, just for plants.
Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy. That's it. Neem oil. Nimoy. Pretty close, isn't it? It is. It's not Leroy. It's Leonard. Oh, that's good. That's good. Anyway. But that black locust tree, the arbor vitae that was cut in the middle, that was laying on its side, it seems to be green, doing just fine. Yeah, there you go. You know it. Did you remember did you catch my Star Trek reference about the barter or the friends or the connecting with others, about the Great Continuum River?
Yeah.
And the Ferengi. Turn on my hearing aid. The kids, they got up. Hey, Toby, come here. Toby, come here. Good boy. Hey, Toby. Sit. Toby, sit. Toby. Hey, come on. Sit. Good boy. Give me 5. Yeah, that's my buddy. Yeah. Anyway, this is Toby. He's replacing Rula right now, I guess. He's my buddy. He's kind of dirty. He's been in our little muddy pond. Oh, yeah. I like Deep Space Nine a lot. We watched a lot of Deep Space Nine and Voyager. Whenever I was a little guy, we watched a lot of TNG, The Next Generation. Yeah, we watched a lot of those. I never really watched Enterprise. I know, he's cute, isn't he? He's almost like a little stuffed animal. Do you see him back there? But he's dirty, stuffed animal. Yeah, he's my buddy. I love him a lot. Let's see, what other videos did I do this week? My trees, connect with others. That had the Ferengi reference in there. Yeah. So there was another Star Trek called Star Trek Enterprise with that guy from Quantum Leap. What was his name? Scott Bakula. Yeah, Scott Bakula. Yeah, I never really watched it. I think I might have watched one episode, but it had Scott Bakula in there. I never watched that one that much. But what do y'all think about those pictures of Rue and I when we were younger? About little chubby Dan. Whenever I was in middle school. Let's see, what else did we do this week? About weather on the homestead. Captain Kirk. That was the original Star Trek. You like that video? Yeah, I thought that was kind of a neat one, you know, that I could reminisce a little bit. I was a chubby guy, wasn't I? Oh, man, I'd forgotten. I actually weighed my freshman year of high school. Last fall, I got down to about 170 pounds with intermittent fasting and keto. I'm probably back up to about 200 right now. But my freshman year of high school, I was probably about 6 inches shorter or so, and I weighed about 220 pounds. Man, I was a big guy. I couldn't make it around the quarter-mile track at all. Maybe about halfway around jogging when I was playing football. It was awful. But I'm trying to, you know, make sure our kids eat better. That's one reason that we're homesteading, but we fail at that sometimes. Whether or not you feel like it. What can you eat in keto? Basically, with keto, you're doing two things. Another name for it is low carb, high fat. So you're trying to reduce your net carbs, and everything that you eat, it's got you know, carbs. You look at how many sugars it has in it, or carbohydrates, and then you deduct from that how much fiber it has in it. So if it has 15 grams of carbs or carbohydrates, then you reduce, and it has 10 grams of fiber, then you do count net carbs, and you'd have 5 grams of net carbs in that.
I can't remember.
And you're also trying to get a lot of fat in your diet. So lots of butter, lots of you know, fatty meats, you know, fatty vegetables and fruits like you know, avocado.
You can have like berries and lemons.
Yeah, berries are pretty good for you. You know, they're kind of low sugar fruit. Most fruits aren't low sugar. You know, so
I feel like that diet doesn't really work that great for me. It doesn't make.
It works
I
really
don't
well
feel
for me.
very well on it.
Yeah.
I just feel like I always end up. What I end up doing is buying the packaged keto stuff, like the packaged cookies, like Quest cookies, and being like, I need one of those. You know, like it doesn't work very good.
So I did before we left California. I did probably about 6 months on keto, and I lost about 60 pounds. I got from about 250 pounds to about 190 doing keto and intermittent fasting, and didn't have, you know, lots of excess skin and stuff like that. So
that sounds good. Irish butter.
Yeah, the Kerrygold stuff, or was it Kerrygold? Was it an off-brand Irish butter? No. Fatty. So fat doesn't make you fat. You need fat. There's actually something. I watched a video from someone talking about the, you know, intermittent fasting and the keto and the, you know, carnivore diet and stuff like that. And if you don't have enough fat in your diet, you can get what's called rabbit starvation. So if you only eat meats that are lean meats like rabbits, then you can die because you don't have enough, you know, you don't have enough fat. So
yes, that Vintage Vibes. Yes, that packaged stuff is really expensive.
That's right. So fatty meats are good for you. The problems are, you know, sugar and bread and stuff. Fat doesn't make you fat. Yeah.
I love bread and potatoes, by the way.
And green wrapper. It was probably the Kerrygold stuff. The packaged stuff for keto is very expensive. Did you already answer that?
I just did.
I was only thinking about what I was saying.
Oh, yes, I did answer that. I said it was very expensive.
Yeah. But after I came back, I got probably back up to about 230 pounds. And then in about 8 or so months, I'd say, I don't know, I got down from about 230 to about 170 with intermittent fasting, some longer fasts, and keto as well.
Now, we were trying to cut out, I don't ever drink regular soda, neither does he, but the diet soda, we kind of were hooked on for a while. We're trying to get rid of that. We got rid of that.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, that's just expensive, and I just feel like instead of eating a Quest cookie, I could just eat an apple.
So that video that I did of the steak that I cooked, you know, whenever I cooked the ribeye, which is a fatty steak, with butter in it, that was super fatty, and that's really good. Yeah, I kind of get addicted to things like that. Rua, you know, has said that in the past. So I got addicted to doing my YouTube channel, and you know, I did it every day and have done it every day, except for missing a few. I didn't do a video today, except for the live stream. And you know,
oh.
So fat-free foods aren't good for you. Chad Nelson, that's the one who lives in the Chatty Shack. Chad Nelson.
The other Chad, oh, you have type 2 diabetes? Yes. Yeah, don't eat any more sugar. But that's hard. It's easier said than done.
The problem sometimes when you just have too much meat, I've heard anyway, is stuff like gout. You know, that's the rich man's disease or something like that, having too much meat. You know, but some people who do the carnivore diet say they don't have any trouble with that. I don't know.
McGee.
Yeah, that bug. Well, I think the back door might be open. There's a bug flying around. I don't know.
Oh, close it.
Mangle eats a hair and bristles. Oh man. Yeah. Type 2 diabetes. You probably need to cut back on your sugar if you can. Of course, you probably do that. You know that already. Do you have to, Chad Morgan? Do you have to take your blood sugar and stuff like that? Do you do that kind of stuff? That's awful. Hypoglycemic. I don't know. I think you could. I think you could fast, but I would definitely start with you know, with shorter fasts, especially 13. I would say to anyone who's starting to fast, start with a 13-hour fast. I think it might be my video tomorrow. I just finished a 65-hour fast. I was going to do 3 days. I was going to do 72 hours, but since Rio stayed at home today, I decided to cut it early. So I just finished 65 hours with nothing but tea and water to drink. So, oh yeah, steak is really great, especially if it's the fatty steaks. You know, sirloins aren't quite as fatty, but they're still okay. You know, I actually considered doing like a carnivore for a little while, carnivore diet, but I didn't. Anyway, yeah, I love steak too, but steak's so expensive. You know, it's very expensive, so I don't eat it very much. What are you doing, Ro?
Oh, drawing killers.
I'm a pro at 6 to 5 minute fasting. That's funny. Yeah, I think it's okay. We'll ask Rue when she gets back. I haven't, you know, really, I don't remember too much about hypoglycemia and fasting, but there's a guy named Jason Fung who talks a lot about fasting for diabetics. So he is a nephrologist, I think it is. It's like a kidney doctor, and he does a lot with diabetes patients, and he does a lot of fasting and stuff for them. So, hey, Jacob's Triangle, I hadn't heard from you in a while. How are you doing? Glad you're here. Glad you're here today. I need to go check out your channel. I hadn't seen anything in a while from you. I need to turn on notifications for your channel. But anyway, let's see. We did the reminiscing video. We talked about why we feed our hay to our Irish Dexter cattle that do silvopasture, and we're trying to build a silvopasture up. I definitely don't like purchasing hay, but it's a temporary thing where we purchase it now, and ultimately it'll build up our pasture, kind of like the way Greg Judy. I actually haven't ever watched any of Greg Judy's videos. A friend of mine, he's not done a video in a while, a Coop at Wonder Why Homestead, at Wonder Why Farm and Homestead, I think. Anyway, he's not done a video in a while. He mentioned how he was doing that, and Greg Judy suggested it, and I thought that was a really great idea. Can you cook mango eats a pork, McGee? If you make like pork chops, can you cook it like a steak? Do you have to cook it well done? I know you get, you know, trichinosis or something like that if you don't cook pork full, you know. But we also have heard, incidentally, about steak-like meats that Muscovy ducks, that their breasts taste like a you know, a sirloin steak. So we're looking forward to butchering some of them this winter and you know, trying that. I would really like to, you know, get where we could milk our Dexters. Of course, I don't like being tied down to that. Nan and Papa have to be. They milk only one time a day, and they're tied down to their goats up at the pond to milk one time every day. So I don't love that. But I'd really love to, you know, to milk them and you know, make butter and stuff like that, because it's a whole lot harder to make, you know, butter from goat milk because it's naturally homogeneous. It's like naturally, you know, mixed together, and it's hard to separate it. But with cattle, with cow milk, you can it separates even with Dexter, doesn't it, McGee? y'all have milked Dexter cattle, but it separates so you can pull the cream off the top and make butter out of that. So I would love to do that. Airbags. The breast of the ducks. You have eaten them medium? Okay. You know, I'd almost be afraid to, but I don't know. I don't know about it or not. Well, oh yes, that was what I was going to ask you about. How do you start silvopasture? You start it. So there's different theories about it. I've been criticized on you know, some Facebook, you know, groups and stuff like that. I've been criticized about it because you're not supposed to form silvopasture out of forested areas. You're supposed to form silvopasture out of non-forested areas and plant trees. So don't cut down trees in order to make silvopasture, plant trees in order to make silvopasture. But we're doing it where we are taking a wooded area and we're cutting enough trees to let light in, and grass won't grow quite as fast. Can y'all hear me? Grass won't grow quite as fast in a wooded area, but it'll still grow. So you can't eat Donald Duck. Thinking about raising some pigs for food. I have some for food for you later about that. Okay, you have some questions for me later about that. Okay, yeah. I saw on Dexter's World Different from how he raises catfish. Like crazy, very cool channel on fish and chicken farming. Oh, we've wanted to. I started an experiment before I started my YouTube channel on aquaponics. I think that'd be a good idea to do something like aquaponics with the high tunnel. I think that might be a nice thing, but that's something maybe in the future, you know, I'd like to do. The only time I've ever had duck, I didn't like it. I think it was the way it was prepared. It was, you know, dark meat. You know, I was expecting something else, but I'd like to try it again. But the Muscovies, you know, they don't taste like a regular duck. They taste, you know, almost like beef, like steak, is what I've heard. I don't know that for sure. Okay, I don't know what I ate. I remember eating at a Boy Scout event years and years ago when I was a kid, but I don't know. I don't know anything about it really. We butchered one duck last year. Was that last year that we did that? Maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. But we butchered one duck. We gave it to my sister-in-law because she likes duck, and you know, I had no idea how to prepare. Plus, they were kind of old ducks, and she said that it was kind of tough, but. Yeah, it was kind of greasy and it was dark meat, so I didn't really like that that much. Oh, you can try it. I've heard that that not June bugs. What are those bugs? The Japanese beetles are edible. I think somebody might have said that on one of my videos whenever I mentioned them. So I've wanted to try to do that, but I can't bring myself to do that very well either. So. Let's see, what else have I missed? Thinking about raising some Dexter's World. I've eaten it medium, making butter. Let's see, hypoglycemic. I think I've got everything. No shots. Oh, okay. So you don't take shots, Chad, for your diabetes. Do you have to take your blood glucose all the time? Papa was telling me about a friend of his who had a thing that he put on his arm. They had to change out every 2 weeks, and he had this, you know, thing that he could put on there that would tell us what his sugar was, but it's really expensive. So I've heard they are greasy too. I don't know that. It's been a long time since I've tried them, but I want to try them again. We'll probably butcher. I think we've got a surplus of Muscovies right now. We'll probably butcher some in the fall. You poke your finger? Okay, yeah. Do you, Chad? Or, you know, Chad Nelson, was pre-diabetic, and he's been taking his blood glucose some, and that's one reason why he's been trying to follow, you know, intermittent fasting and keto when he can. But anyway, he didn't want to get diabetes. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. How are the rabbits doing? The rabbits are doing pretty well. You know, give a quack. The rabbits are doing pretty well. I've not lost any more recently. I've not lost any more out there on pasture, but I lost some that were in the hutches. I had several that died in the hutches, and I don't know exactly why. Maybe they got too hot, maybe they got too wet in there, because I've got one section in the back that that they kind of go and nest in, and then the section in the front where that's got wire at the bottom. And I think they might have gotten the back and got too wet. I don't know, but I lost several for, I don't know, for a week or so. I was losing, several of them, but I've not lost any in another, week or so. It's been a little while, so I don't know. Yeah, somebody went to the doctor or went to the hospital, and they said they were put on a special diet, and basically the diet was, if it tastes good, then spit it out. I remember that was a friend of mine named Charlie Bennett. He died a few years ago when we were in California, but went to church with us in the church that I preached at. That's about 10 miles from here. Anyway, he was a really great guy, but he said the diet is, if it's good, then spit it out, which I don't think is true. I think that you can follow a high-fat, low-carb diet, and there's lots of good things that you can eat. But let's see, what else was there. The tiny house and shed to home conversion that you saw, Chatty Shack. That one had good views this week. I had 275 views, my biggest one this week, I think. So anyway, that was fun. I enjoyed doing that. I should start. What should I start doing? Oh, if it's good, spit it out diet. Is that what you're saying? Vintage vibes. Well, so I told you, I don't know if you heard me, I did the 65-hour fast, which, that was the first one I've done that long in a while. I just didn't have anything, so I didn't have to spit anything out at all. But that's hard to do, especially if you don't, if you don't really like, some healthy things. So if you don't put seasonings and stuff on it, chuck it up. Chatty Shack, all that was missing was a crazy groundhog. Somebody said whenever they read the title that they expected to have Rodney Dangerfield and Chevy Chase in it, but alas, no. Let's see, that's about it as far as videos this week. Weather on the homestead, tiny house and shed to home conversion, why we feed hay to our Irish Dexter, why we do it, and what we thought life was going to be. Connect with others, and when the trees got blown down. So that was pretty much it as far as our videos this week. If y'all have any questions or anything for Rua or I, she's still off camera for now, but I could probably get her if you have a question specifically for her. So I was thinking about, I know my growth has been really good on YouTube, and but I was thinking about reducing the number of videos that I do, and starting to blog on the other days, but I don't know if I'll do that or not. I'm still just thinking about it. I was thinking about it this morning, how I identify myself. Do I identify myself this way or that way? What would I do? And I think content creator probably was the best way I would characterize myself if I had to say something. But that might include like blogging or something. I don't know. I'm working very hard in construction right now, so I can't fast lifting heavy beams, but if I was being lazy, I would probably eat more. Yeah. In Guinea's edible. In Europe, I think they do eat them. I remember watching a rom-com years ago with Rua. It's got Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant in it, called House on Notting Hill. And in it, they eat guinea fowl, so they cooked guinea fowl. So a lot of people do eat them, but we don't eat them. They're pretty much just for tick and bug control. But again, we've never ate them. Let's see. Sorry to go back to your tree, but I suggest taking it up from another direction as well, adding a bit of soil around the base and tamping it down real hard. I might do that. I did take so the bucket that I made the compost tea out of, I think it got a hole in the side, so it was leaking a lot of the compost tea out of it, but it still had a lot of compost in it, and it had a little bit of tea at the bottom. I dug a lot of that compost out, and I put it there beside of it, and I watered it in pretty well, but I didn't tamp it down very well. I might try to stake it down from the other side too. All right, thanks, Padmar. I'm glad you came by. Hit that other live show, but we're probably going to end here pretty soon. Somebody else in Europe, dinner places still eat pigeon. Oh yeah, they call them squab or squib, squab. You can eat pigeon. There was a friend in California who raised squab. I think that's just pigeon, isn't it? So follow what you have been doing with a 2 or 3 day a week vlogging, like Sow the Land, Justin Rhodes, Fit Farmer. So you think tiny home? I should just vlog those other days and do what I've been doing 2 or 3 days a week? Okay, I might do that. The reason I was thinking about doing the blog is even if I did vlog, video log, I would probably still edit it a lot, but I don't know. Hey, Countryside, I'm glad you're here. Y'all are working on your new house. Very cool. Y'all are doing a lot of cool things up there. Let's see. That reminds me of an episode, 3.5 Men. I'm getting a lot of buffering when I head for the night. Squab is a young pigeon that can fly. All right, Chad. Have a good night. I'm glad you were here. I know you got to work early in the morning. I might try to do that. Squab is a young pigeon that can't fly, but is actually larger than an adult that does fly. Okay. I didn't. I thought it was just a pigeon, but I didn't know it was a different kind of pigeon. Anyway, a friend, or not a friend, I guess, an acquaintance that we had in California. Raised them. Yeah, we were thinking about building a pole barn. We talked about it, but we were going to hire somebody to help build the main structure of it, but I can't get a hold of anybody, so I think it might be a project that we tackle on our own here in a year or two, because we could definitely use the space, but it's not not going to be a home. We're going to probably keep living in this. I'd like to ultimately, in some ways, build an earth ship, but I don't know if that'll ever happen for us to live in. I've got so many things to do here. By the time we get this fixed the way we want to, we won't want to move from it. And anyway, any other questions or anything that's on y'all's mind that you want to talk about? It seemed like somebody had a question a minute ago. Let's see. When should I start putting in fall and winter crop? After your other crops start. After your other crops start, failing and getting finished, stop producing, then either till that under or clean that up, whatever you do there, and then plant your stuff. So especially if you're going to germinate right in the ground, and you probably need to start them soon, I would say. If you're going to germinate them, in a greenhouse or outside, and then plant them in later, then probably start starting seed soon is what I would suggest. Does anybody know? I've not done a whole lot of that, but we're gonna work really hard on our high tunnel this year. So I don't know for sure if we're gonna plant a lot of stuff outside. Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of Alumna Acres. It's really hard for me to watch a lot of content, but I probably need to check out some other stuff. So. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Rua's, had to take care of something, so I'm gonna get back to what she's doing. But we'll do another live stream next Sunday night. Set your clocks for 8 p.m. Hopefully, we won't have any trouble. We'll get it done, and get. If you have any questions or whatever, then get those ready or message them to me. Whatever you want to do there. Thanks, guys.